Discover how Dr. Dre reconnected with his childhood friend, Eazy-E. In '85, Dre reconnected with his childhood friend Eazy-E, who was hanging out at the Rhodium buying tapes from Steve Yano. Steve recalls seeing this small guy holding about 20 tapes in his hands, trying to buy them all. At first, Yano thought it had to be a scam. Most kids at his stand barely had enough money to buy 1 or 2 tapes at a time, but this wasn't just anyone. This was Eric Wright, and he wasn't a kid anymore, even though he looked like he was 14. In reality, he was already 20, and things were about to change. He asked him if he was sure he wanted all those records. Eazy-E replied, "Sure," in that high squeaky voice that would later become his trademark sound. Then he reached into his sock, pulled out a stack of bills, and paid up. Yep, you heard that right, in his sock. That's where Eazy always liked to keep his money. Less than a week later, he came back. This time, he asked Steve Yano about a record he had bought, curious about who made it. When he found out it was his childhood friend Andre from Compton, he told Yano to tell Dre. Eric said, "What's up?" Yeah, back in the early '80s, Eazy and Dre formed the high-powered DJ crew while they were still teens, spinning at backyard parties, high school dances, and house parties on the weekends, as mentioned in part 1. And you gotta remember, there were no mobile phones, no social media. If you lost contact, that was it. At first, Yano didn't say anything to Dre. He didn't want to bother him. But a week later, Eazy was back again, still asking about Dre and wanting his number. So, Steve finally asked Dre a few days later if he knew somebody named Eric Wright from Compton. And just like that, Eazy and Dre started clicking again. Eric started popping up at Dudo's, Skateland, and every other spot where Dre and the Wrecking Crew were performing, usually rolling with his homeboy MC Ren. Eazy had been saving up his money, and now he was ready to launch his new business. At first, he thought about opening a record store, but Steve Yano and Dre shut that idea down. They told him if he really wanted to transition into the music business, starting a record label would be a better move.